Well, I find myself just outside of Marble, Colorado on my way to Snowmass Peak, which is one of the last 14ers I have to summit before having summited all 58 in the state. So I'm a little anxious to get there. We've got about an hour of daylight left, so let's hit the trail, let's air down, get them all at 20, see you up there. Headed what feels like straight up a four-wheel drive road. We just aired down to about 20 psi all around. We're just outside of the town of Marble, Colorado, and so we're headed up to the south side of Snowmass Peak. We're not going to do the traditional 22-mile round trip approach to the mountain, so instead we're going to do about 8 miles, 9 miles round trip on the S Ridge. And the S Ridge is named because it's on the south side, and it also is shaped like an S if you look at it on a topo map. So I'm going to focus on the road and see if I can show you some of this. It turns out to be a pretty gnarly four-wheel drive road. But yeah, I'm going to put both hands on the wheel now and see you up there. These switchbacks, it's been pretty gnarly. Lots of whoops, nothing too crazy. Very, very pretty here. Lots of wildflowers. But I couldn't help but notice that is Snowmass, and that right there is our S line on the south side, getting all the sun right there. So that's where we're gonna head off tomorrow morning at around 4 a.m. All right, let's go make camp. Made it down to the trailhead. It's kind of sucks. You have to lose all that elevation at the very end. You start off at 10.5 or something, and you have to come down to 93 or something. But not a big deal. But yeah, I made it down to the trailhead. All camped up here in the Go Fast camper. Perfect for this sort of situation where you just want to get to the trailhead, set up camp, eat a meal, drink a beer, pack up, and hit the trail the next morning. So it's currently about 8:30 or so, looking to wake up at around 4 and hit the trail at 4:30. So I think that should be okay. Put me on the summit about 9 or 9:30, but we'll see how it goes.
Ooh, it's a little after 4 a.m. It's probably 4:20 or 4:30 by now. Getting a little bit later start, but alarm went off. I hit the snooze. No big deal. I'm not in a rush today. My goal is to hit the ridge line as the sun rises, which today is about 6:35 or so. So I can have a nice amble stroll up to the ridge line through the trees. So no rush at all. About to hit the trail. Just got dressed. About to have some caffeine and see you out there. Well, this is it. It's maybe 4:45. I'm gonna leave the tent up, but time to hit the old dusty trail, I guess, huh? It's about when it gets real. At the proper trailhead. Alright, let's go. See the lake down there? Trail going forward. There's Snowmass. There's our S Ridge. Go up and gain one of those approach gullies on the right there, the two dark spots. So we got to pick one of those. They're about the same. They're both third class. So. Inching ever closer to the ascent gullies. Oh, I'm gonna stop here, collapse the poles. About to cross over this boulder field, and I noticed the poles, they get stuck, and they're actually more harm than good for me. Everyone's different. So I'm just gonna stop here, collapse my poles, take my headlamp off, eat a bar, have some breakfast, and I'm staring straight up at this ascent gully, and it's pretty gnarly. So it's supposed to be third class, but we'll see what it's like when we get there.
It's a nice alpenglow just in front of me here. Going through Ascent Gully. I decided on the left one. Actually doesn't look too bad. Probably some low third class moves, so all that worry for nothing. Let's get into it. It's a little bit loose through here. I stand on the solid rock. Whew. The ridge. Whew. That one gave way. Huh. Nothing like a little bit of loose rock. Really want to stay on the ridge line. Just past 2 milestones. We're about 13,100, so about 1,000 vertical feet from the summit. So just over 13,000 feet now. And it's now just about 8 o'clock, just a little after. So we're a little bit behind schedule maybe, but still feel pretty confident that we can do that last 1,000 feet in about an hour. Be on the summit by 9:30 at the latest, which is what I put the SOTA spot for, 9:30. So see this ridge? It's actually not as bad as I thought it would be. Maybe there's harder stuff up ahead, but about to hit one more milestone, which is seeing the sun for the first time. It's just about to crest that mountain over there. So whew, looking forward to that. See you up there. I always feel so close and so far at the same time. There's the summit. I see a couple people up there already. Good progress. This feels pretty fourth class. Not terrible. Don't need my hands. It's not so steep, but you can see where this could be a little heavy for people. Radio set up. Not bad for an operating position. Just rigged up on 20 meters from the summit block here. Just a little bit down from the actual summit block. That's where that guy is standing right there. But I figure it's close enough. It's within the AZ. Got my HT over there on 2 meters. And this little line down to 20 meter antenna. That's my K6 ARK. 49-1 Ballon up to my fishing pole, and there's a bird sitting on the my fishing line there on the line. Interesting, never seen that before. Yeah, let me get rigged up and then we can make some contacts. Well, that was kind of a bust. I don't have cell service up here, and I don't know how to self-spot with the Garmin inReach, so kind of was a little frantic trying to make contacts on HF and never did get spotted, but I did make a couple of HF contacts chasing people doing parks on the air, so that was neat. Didn't make for a very compelling video. I was able to make a few summit to summit contacts on VHF as well, but I had to go over there and stand in the wind. Also not very compelling video, so hoping to go up another peak tomorrow. Maybe I can splice in some activation footage then, but yeah, until then, here's the summit views from the summit of Snowmass Mountain. It's the ridge we came up. This one right here. Started at that lake. my activation zone. There's Snowmass Lake, the more typical approach. Looking straight into the sun. This is the descent gully. Sort of a path here. Just a little bit loose, a little bit awful. It's got to be one of the loosest, most awful descents I've done. This reminds me of the saddle between Wilson Peak and Mount Wilson. Just every rock is suspect here. Yeah, it's all about choosing your feet very carefully, being light enough on your feet to where you can jump out of the way if a rock starts to move. Yeah, I wouldn't say it's sketchy, it's a little in your face. Whew, look at that. Whew. Every rock is just suspect. We just came down that. I think we're through the worst of it. It's getting a little less steep and a little more consolidated. Boy, am I glad that section is over. That was absolutely brutal. Coming down this big scree field right here. So I've got up at the trail again. It goes a little bit uphill back to that lake where I cut off in this morning. So follow it a little bit this way, up to the lake, the last little bit of uphill, and then smooth sailing back to the truck. I just got my trekking poles out, and I'm really excited for some downhill that's not loose rocks. With a little bit more altitude or elevation, you can really see how big and bad that field is, that scree field. One thing I'm learning on this trip, so when the grass is this high, it kind of makes the trekking poles useless because they just get caught in everything. So I'm carrying them a lot. That's okay. Well, yesterday was a little bit of a bust when it came to HF, given the band conditions, and I wasn't able to get a spot out. So I found myself today dangerously close to the summit of Mount Antero. Antero's not quite a drive up, but it's pretty dang close. So I'm here at the end of the four-wheel drive road with the trusty truck, and the goal is to do a quick little hike up there. We're about, 13.6 or so right now, so about 400 vert to the summit. Should go by pretty quick, and then we can activate Mount Antero for my first time ever. See you up there. It's the basin we came up. Might be able to see the truck right there. And our summit. Not nearly as bad as yesterday's hike. Here we are at the summit of Antero. Let's get a snack and set up a radio. CQ SOTA, Whiskey 0, Alpha Delta Victor, calling CQ, summits on the air, Mount Antero. I was on the wrong mode. Whiskey 0, Alpha Delta Victor, summit to summit. Yeah, name here is Dave, Delta Alpha Victor Echo. Yeah, I'm on Mount Antero, Whiskey 0 Charlie, Sierra Romeo 003. Whiskey 0, Sierra Golf Charlie. Yeah, you're 5'9" up on Mount Antero, no surprise. KD8 EQA, yeah, 5'9" on Mount Antero. Yeah, just running 5 watts into a half-wave whip, nothing too special, but yeah, I think we have a pretty good line of sight from here. Is this frequency in use? Is this frequency in use? W0ADV. CQ SOTA, CQ SOTA, W0ADV, Whiskey 0, Alpha Delta Victor, Summit's on the air. Whiskey 7 Delta, yeah, 5555 on Mount Antero.
Okay, QSL to 59, and thank you for the activation. You're about a 5x2 near Seattle, Washington today, David. 73, and thanks for the have fun up there for the rest of your adventures today.
Kilo Foxtrot 7 Whiskey India, 5454 on Mount Antero. QSL to 53, 73, thanks for chasing.
November Golf 6 Romeo.
November Golf 6 Romeo, 55 on Mount Antero.
Give me my signal report a couple of times over.
5555 on Mount Antero.
Okay, got it that time. You're about a 3333 Southern California, over.
QSL to 33, I'm glad the band is starting to open up again. Yeah, thanks for chasing. So goes Mount Antero. Now we can drive over to Mount White. That was one of the easier 10-point peaks I've ever done. See if we can snag another one same day. We made it over here in less than an hour, which is nice. It's about 25 minutes down, another 25 minutes over, a couple minutes with the drone, but I've never been here before, so I'm just going to follow this trail. I don't think we gain or lose much altitude, elevation. I think we're just trying to skirt around to some summit somewhere, so looks like we made it. I think we're on top. There's another summit over there. I think that one might be technically higher, but this is well within the AZ, and this is where Bob K0 and R said to go in his map on his trip report. So set the bag down, grab a snack and some water, and start on 2 meters and work our way down from there. Sweet. CQ SOTA, W0ADV, Whiskey 0, Alpha Delta Victor, 4 Summits on the air. Walt, Whiskey 0 Charlie Papa, yeah, you're 5'9" again on Mount White.
Hey, great. Yeah, Mount White, you got over there pretty fast. 5'9" here. Come on.
73, enjoy the cabin, thanks for chasing. W0ADV, clear monitoring. That's the thing about 2 meters and just VHF and UHF in general is line of sight. I have a pretty good line of sight to Buena Vista, probably Salida, Fairplay, some of these other towns, but there's a mountain range blocking the front range. So I can't see where the population centers of the state are, where people are more likely to be in their truck on the interstate, you know, going up the highway. So as such, I can't really see a lot of people. So unless you work your network ahead of time and let people know that you're going to be on a summit during a certain time, chances are you're not going to make the required 4 contacts on VHF, UHF modes only. So I'm going to switch to HF. I didn't tell anyone. I didn't send it a spot. I'm just going to switch to HF and see if I can have better luck on 20, maybe try 40, and take it from there. That I will send a spot out. Otherwise, it'll take a long time calling CQ. Yeah, I'll bring you along when I set up the antenna. Here's a good place for this guy. That height to start. This is a trap. Open like this, set for 20 meters. Closed like that, set for 40 meters. This is just a dual band antenna. It's my first time making my own from scratch, so didn't want to go too overboard. I think next up I'll try to make a trap for it. This is the K6ARK mobile radio antenna. Well, his 49-to-1 Balun anyway. that I bought on Amazon and made myself. Very cool. Nice thing he's doing. Just make sure that this is okay enough. Doesn't have to be perfect. This trekking pole is pretty much only going to have pressure on it going towards the antenna that direction, so it doesn't need to be stable in all directions, just the one. Found a nice enough spot to plunk my butt down. Did say I was monitoring, so I'm going to jump back to 5.2 just in case there's any more activity on 2 meters there. This is the Lab 5999 TX500. All the rage right now, except it's made in Russia. Felt a little conflicted about that. Ordered it just before the invasion of Ukraine. So, I don't know. Just have to call that a loss. But in my defense, the company did change their slogan to Built for Peace. So that's cool. I appreciate that. Makes me feel good about supporting people that support, not Putin, but anyway, politics. I keep the battery in a separate little compartment here. I'm not really worried about it catching fire, but just a little bit worried about it catching fire. So keep that down there. Cover this so it stays a little bit out of the sun. I'm keeping this here, something to write on. I'm a lefty, which is a little silly. You can see here I only have Walt Whiskey Zero Charlie Papa from 2 meters. So let's get going on HF. CQ SOTA, Whiskey Zero, Alpha Delta Victor. You can see we're getting a 1-to-1 SWR, which is pretty good. So I know we're getting signal out. We're getting pushing 9-10 watts when I transmit, but who knows what the band conditions are like? Who knows if the antenna is set up correctly? Who knows? CQ SOTA, Whiskey Zero, Alpha Delta Victor. Whiskey 7 Delta, strong 5-7, 5-7.
Okay, 2SL 57, David, you're about a 4, well, you're about a 5x2, not a QSD, and there's a little bit of distortion on your audio.
QSL, yeah, I might try to switch to 40 meters here in a second.
Okay, 73, good luck with the rest of your activation, WW7 Delta.
73, thanks for chasing. So in this case, something's happening where there's probably a lot of distortion. There's probably a big signal somewhere out west. I know that Whiskey 7 Delta is on the west coast, and I might not be able to hear it. I hear normal noise, and there might be something big there. So I'm going to try to wrap up. I'm going to call CQ a couple more times and then switch over to 40 if I can. I have to string out that antenna a little bit more. Is this frequency in use?
Whiskey 7, Sierra Kilo Hotel.
Whiskey 7 Sierra Kilo Hotel. Yeah, you're 5 and 4.
Thank you. You are about a 2222 QSL.
QSL to 22, 73. Thanks for chasing.
Thank you for the SOTA. I can barely hear you, but I can hear you just barely. Okay. Thank you for the contact, W7SK8.
Whiskey 7, Charlie Bravo Romeo.
Whiskey 7 Charlie Bravo Romeo, you're 5-3, 5-3.
Thank you, you're a 5-3, Mesa, Arizona. 5-3, Mesa, Arizona. Thank you for the activation. Good luck to you. 73, this is W7 CBR.
CQ SOTA, Whiskey Zero, Alpha Delta Victor, Summit's on the air. It's crazy the difference.
Alpha Delta Victor. This is Whiskey Bravo 0, Juliet November Sierra.
Whiskey Bravo 0, Juliet November Sierra. Yeah, you're about a 5-7, 5-7 on Mount White. All right, let's get this show on the road. And we don't want to forget this. Got them both for the way down. See over there is Mount Antero. You can see the road we took up. Here's the summit of Mount White. Our departing view. And off we go back down. Federal mining claim. Most of this area around Antero and Mt. White is claimed already. So if you think, oh hey, I can just go up and find a little mineral. There's a lot of aquamarine up here. Aquamarine. Nope, somebody else owns it. Just because you found it doesn't mean it's yours. So, good place to get in touch with a mineral rights holder and see if you can spend a day up here, but bad place to come rock hounding on your own. Back to the truck. One last look at the trail up Mount Antero. I should have recorded that on the way up.